I know.
Like millions of other kids, you dreamed of one day being in the NBA. You wanted to be a star, and someday to rise above and become the greatest to ever play. You dreamed of being the one. But the road to stardom is never easy. There are obstacles, injuries, and disappointments. Adversity is universal. It can happen to anyone at any time. And one day, it happened to you. You went from being a guaranteed lottery pick to a kid who may never even play college ball again.
Now, look, it's always bad to hear about injuries, especially to college kids, of course.
Yeah.
But Stephen A. Smith, this one is particularly disheartening because we are 2 weeks into the season and one of the top NBA prospects in the country goes down potentially with a season-ending injury, a knee injury. That's a killer.
I couldn't agree more. When I heard he was carried off the floor today, all you can do is find yourself hoping that he'll make it back. That's the bottom line. But my heart goes out to him because I didn't expect this. This is a devastating injury. It's never good to have something like this happen to you.
The team doctor broke the news. Torn ACL, sprained MCL, and a torn meniscus. Surgery was scheduled, but your game will likely never be the same. At the 2016 NBA draft, your name is still mentioned. Not as a prospect, but as a cautionary tale.
Now, there's another huge story in this year's draft. A record number of underclassmen, 30 of them, undrafted. And I hope, anyway, that this is a lesson, this serves as an example to college players. I'm not talking about the ones who are genuinely one and dones, the guys you know are going to be lottery picks. I mean the rest of them. They're not sure shots. You're not sure they're going to be lottery picks. Don't just use the college system for a year thinking you're going to bounce. It doesn't work like that. If you don't have the talent, it doesn't work. You got to be cultivated in the system.
Please. There you go again with your blanket generalizations. You know how you are, oh, Max, the woe is me, oh, my Lord. I can't take it. I just can't take it. It's a case-by-case basis. You can't just blanketly decide this should not be one and dones or this should be one and dones. You got to go on a case-by-case basis. Some dudes deserve to be one and dones. Some people don't. It's on a case-by-case basis.
And that is my point. Thank you for making it for me. Every kid thinks they're the exception to the rule. And members of the media like, Stephen A. Smith, are encouraging these kids to come out early.
Look, Max, bottom line is this. You got to take this into consideration. You had two dudes. They were called the Height brothers. Now, you had Nick Howard. This kid had a lot of promise. What does he do? He goes to college. Very uneventful first year, no doubt. The second year, he was pretty good. Here's the problem. The NBA, it's not about pretty good. You need to be great on the collegiate level, on the prep level, in summer leagues and what have you, in order for you to get the stature that you deserve. That's the bottom line. Pretty good ain't good enough to be that stud NBA.
That's exactly my point.
Let me finish. There's another example. I did say the Height brothers. I wasn't talking about one individual. I was talking about two. What happens? One and done in a different way. 1 year, one ACL injury later, and look where he's at now. His future is clearly uncertain. So you got to take advantage of that opportunity because you never know when an injury is going to cost you everything.
Stephen A., listen to yourself. Let's listen to yourself for a second. You give one argument for why a kid should come out early, a one-and-done situation. I can give you 30 arguments this morning alone why they should stay in school. And now you have to wonder what a kid like Nick Howard, who has given up his college eligibility, does next. What does he do next?
First of all, don't sweat the technique. The argument, or one argument, as long as it's strong enough, that's all that matters. That's number one. Number two, the Height brothers was something special. What they really need to do. I'm going to tell you what they need to do, Max. They need to get back to playing together. My sources are telling me the ACL injury has been completely healed. So go on a pro-am circuit. Go in summer leagues. Do what you got to do to get back on the court together to remind everybody of what you once were. Because once you pull that off, the sky's the limit. That's what they need to do. Get back to playing ball together, because when people see what you can do as one, the other arguments don't really matter. Like I said, don't sweat the technique.
You can copy paste me, but you cannot replace me. It's not creative, yeah, so we is not related. Whole squad feeling godly lately. Yeah, I'm a god, that's how mommy raised me. Yeah, they tryna violate me, tryna beat the king like Bill. Yeah, you could copy paste me, but you cannot replace me. This flow cool, yeah, probably, maybe. I'm shining, I'm raining, they tryna shade them. And y'all constantly, and mine probably need training. I'm obviously obligated, but the flow's got Nas, even nauseated. Yeah, see me in the city, say what's up. Yeah, everybody know I'm showing love. Yeah, same time I be showing love. Yeah, I do what I want, whatever I want. I want to one. Yeah, I'm one to one. I'm one to one. Yeah, I look around, I'm the only one. Yeah, I'm one to one. Said I'm one to one. Yeah, I'm one to one.
You got this star quality, bro. And I don't mean that on no holiday. You can light the rap game on fire.
This is New York City, the mecca of basketball. The original Rucker League began here in 1947. 9 years later, the tournament found a permanent home uptown at PS 156 Playground. Those early Rucker days showcased talents like Lou Alcindor, Wilt the Stilt, and Earl the Pearl. It's also where Julius Erving became the Doctor. In 1974, the park was respectfully renamed Holcomb Rucker Park in honor of the tournament founder. Now, many have influenced the growth of the Rucker since, but none more heavily than the late, great Greg Marius, founder of the EBC. Many would argue that the Ruck is the birthplace of true street ball and the crossover dribble. Considering New York City's penchant for flashy guard play, there are few who can challenge that. After the legendary exploits of Rucker alumni like Rod Strickland, Rafer Alston, and Kyrie Irving, it goes without saying that getting crossed up or banged on can happen to anybody at any given moment here. It's no wonder that this unassuming uptown playground has become the most widely recognized street ball court in the world. Rucker Park, Harlem.
Yeah, I want a Benz, I want a best friend, I want the Louis V lens, I want the Ray with a 10, I want the finer things, I want designer things, I want a lot of things. I just want the rings, 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 I just want the, I just want the rings, I just want the, I just want the rings, I just want the, I just want the rings, I just want the, I just want the, I want the Porsche, and going back and forth, don't got no remorse, I carry the torch, and for what it's worth, I won't get divorced. I want the ring like a Bron. I want the ring like I'm Draymond. I want the ring like I'm Ray John. I want the ring like Neymar. It don't matter if we done by 4. Hit the game winner up in the 4th. I'm like Bill Russell up on the court. I just only want nothing more. Want a bad dress in Dior. Just like Lior. I'm like Phil Jackson up in New York. I might go on a PGA tour. Yeah, yeah. I just want the rings. I want the rings. The rings, yeah, yeah. I wanna be the best, know what that means. It means, yeah. I want a Benz, I want a best friend, I want the Louis V lens, I want the Ray with a 10, I want the finer things, I want designer things, I want a lot of things. I just want the rings, I just want the, I just want the rings, I just want the, I just want the rings, I just want the, I just want the rings, the ring, the ring, the ring. It took a lot of sacrifices just to get her, you dig? I had to go out there and get it. I had to go out there and get it. Who ain't gonna come to me? Yeah. I just want the rings. Yeah. Like I'm down on one knee. Yeah. And it ain't no I ain't team. Yeah. Everything what it seems. Yeah. I've been having bad dreams. Yeah. That I was a has-been. Yeah. And going back to D-League. Yeah. Cafe the dream team. Yeah. I feel like Larry Bird. I feel like Julius Serving. I feel like Magic Johnson. They gon' retire my jersey. They gon' owe me an apology. I deserve me a ring like I'm Iverson. I done made your man do a Shooting 1,000 shots a day. Where I'm from, yeah, that ain't none. They shoot 1,000 shots a day. Lot of sacrifices that it takes. Are you willing to do what it takes? I wanna be mentioned with Pox and Biggs and Dre's and Yays and Jay. I wanna Benz. I want a best friend. I want the Louis V lens. I want the Ray with a 10. I want the finer things. I want designer things. I want a lot of things. I just want the rings. 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 The ring. I just want the rings. I just want the. I just want the rings. I just want the. I just want the rings. I just want the. I just want the rings. I just want the. I just want the.
Maybach music.
You scared to die? Open your eyes wide, and I pray you are. On my, so I gotta beat it. All the boys say they wanna beat me. Boss. I got a lick, boy, I got a lick. 2017, trust me, boy, this one is it.
Beautiful Venice Beach. A place like no other, fit with a cast of characters and all the sun, sand, and shoreline you can handle. But Venice Beach basketball brings a completely different kind of beauty to the beach. A beauty made of long-range jumpers, meta-world peace-level defense, and some of the best athletic ability in the West. And it ain't news. Since the heyday of the OG Ray Lewis dropping 50 on Michael Cooper in the 80s. Since Freedom Williams put up 75 in a college game. Since Ron Beals created the trend of street ball legends pushing the pros to their very limits under the scorching California sunshine. Long before baggy shorts and the elbow sleeve became the universal uniform of choice, every guard at Venice has been a menace. And the rule here is, you reach, we teach. Teach your defense the definition of pressure, then big men, pack a lunch. It's gonna be a long day down there in the paint. Out here, the days are long and the handles are strong. Are you ready to get busy on the beach? Venice.
I remember being broken down bad. Now I pay nothing for my sneakers cause I'm Nav. He can't get a feature so he mad. I ain't nothing like these rappers, they won't last. I don't wanna call her, now she sad. Cause I'm getting money, and living fast. Every time I dress, I'm popping tags. And every time I'm buying, I'm paying cash. Mixing up designer, I don't match. Yeah, I'm dressing bathing Nate that you don't have. Remember she ain't want me, now she make it. I just put 200 on the dash. I just walked in Neiman with them bands. I got 15,000 in my hand. I might spend 100 on a shirt, Gucci down. I just spent 300 on some 300 on super, I might fly away. Super loud, cash got mad because I remember going crazy on a paper chase. Now we got cash inside the safe. Get out of line and I'ma put you in your place. She said she love my music and she wanna see my face. He said you want a feature, get this bro boy out my way. If you become a problem, make a call. I remember being broken down bad. Now I pay nothing for my sneakers cause I'm Nav. He can't get a feature so he mad. I ain't nothing like these rappers, they won't last. I don't wanna call her, now she sad. Cause I'm getting money, and living fast. Every time I dress, I'm popping tags. And every time I'm buying, I'm paying cash. She only want me cause I'm Nav. Girl, I didn't buy that bag. I ain't buy. I don't want no one that's in a mix. You talk to all the rappers saying that and this. Every time I'm buying, I'm paying cash. I just spent 5,000 on something. I just wanna take a seat. I asked her if she wanna win. She see the XO on my back and now she in. Threw her the keys and told her take it for a spin. Take the Lambo for a spin. I'm worth a couple tickets trying to get these M's. I called my mama, said we'll never be broke again. I remember being broken down bad. Now I pay nothing for my sneakers cause I'm Nav. He can't get a feature so he mad. I ain't nothing like these rappers, they won't last. I don't wanna call her, now she sad. Cause I'm getting money, and living fast. Every time I dress, I'm popping tags. And every time I'm buying, I'm paying cash.
Gray skies over Puget Sound, and plenty of umbrellas on sale in Seattle. Home to the Crossover League, a place where jump shots fall from the indoor sky wet like the rains of Pacific Northwest folklore. Summer in the city ain't been the same since Quincy Jones' soundtrack Jamal's first summer here. Broken ankles, 40-point outbursts as regular as the sunrise, and a foundation that makes the game far more important for everyone in the gym. A place where you can see Zach LaVine walking amongst the clouds with ease. Where you can see Isaiah Thomas finding his fourth quarter mojo, cooking at 90 degrees. A place where undersized dunk champs like Nate Robinson first flew through the Summer League trees. Yeah, it can get a little bit gray outside, but in the gym at Seattle Pacific University, the matchups and highlights are considered some of the most colorful in the world of summertime ball. Fluid, yet rough and tumble, just like the city it calls home. It's deeper than just a game here. Everybody wins. Everybody contributes. A real team effort for the ages. Seattle.
you, I got you.
On your right, on your right.
Oh, yeah, that's light work.
game.